Today, I'd like to introduce you to SeedsIO. This is something that I've been working on for a very long time. I've put in thousands of hours of work into it and many thousands of lines of code, but it's a platform that I'm extremely proud of. The idea for SeedsIO came when I thought that it would be an interesting way to track plants by using an NFC tag. Now, NFC tags are basically what are inside your credit cards. When you use tap and pay, that's NFC. Now, the reason I wanted to go down the NFC route, start tracking my plants, is because every modern phone has an NFC reader built into it. And that's kind of where it all started off. The initial product that I was building was literally for me to use. It was for me to track all my plants. I have hundreds of them, and be able to have something that was measurable and I could look back on in following years so I can see what worked, what didn't, and also just help me manage things a bit better. It kind of evolved from that because as I started developing the product, I realized that it was far more useful than I initially thought. And I also thought that other people might want to use this. So in previous years, when I've been starting my seeds, I've created a spreadsheet in Google Sheets and I've shared that with you guys. I've done 3 years of doing that and I've evolved that spreadsheet over time. And I realized that you guys are really enjoying using that. You're using it for yourselves to monitor your plants and track your plants. And I thought, well, let me make something even better. And I built in what I did in those spreadsheets into SeedsIO itself. So not only can you track your plants through their life cycle, but you can also track from the very stage that you plant the first seed. And I'm going to show you a little bit of all that. Today's video is not a full run through of the whole product. I'd like you to go and try it out for yourself and figure out some of the cool functions that are in there. But today I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what it does. When I first started building SeedsIO, I essentially wanted to be able to tap on my plant and it will pop up on my phone with all the information about that plant. Now, it's evolved from that. It is still that at its core, but it can do a heck of a lot more. This here is just a cheap NFC tag, and I've written the number on there just in case, but I haven't had any problems. It's been here the whole year out in the open, and the tag is still working just fine. We take our phone, make sure that the NFC is enabled on your phone, tap onto the tag, and it'll pop straight into SeedsIO on that plant itself. And that is just so cool. Now we can see that this plant, it's a Moruga chocolate. It is in the Capsicum chinense species, planted on the 4th of January, category is super hots, and grow method is soil. And I made a note there, 2018, so that's obviously when the seed that I use, that's when it's from. Now down below, you can see there's a bunch of notes that are added, and I can easily go into them and see that there's some photos, the notes themselves, and we can even look at a bit of a slideshow, and that'll show us the plant as it went through the year. So pretty handy to do, especially if you're keeping a lot of photos in here of the progress of your plant, I guess, to show you what's going on with it. You can also make observations. So if we do add note, we can see there's a bunch of categories here, observations or actions. Maybe you've changed the way you fed the plant, or maybe you've noticed there's aphids. So there's some bad bugs in there, and then there's some good bugs there as well. Maybe you've seen some ladybugs. So there's a bunch of options there. Let's just put a note in here for observation. So if I tap on that, I can use the icon observation, or I can drop down here and choose it there. It's up to you. We type in plant is still alive. Whoops. And there we go. I can then add a photo to this as well. So take a camera shot, go to the picture, and there we go. Press OK, and we can see that it's uploaded, image is ready, and we're going to submit that. That is now uploaded, and our image is in there with our note. Nice and easy. And you can see how quick this is. When I'm going around, I have more than 150, 200 plants. This is so easy to do quick observations as I run through my greenhouses. Now, of course, SeedsIO can do a lot more than just track your plants. We can go and have a look at things like a public area. So there's a public garden space, and that'll show all the plants that people have decided to show publicly. Now, you can change the settings for each of your plants to make them public or private, and that's very easy to do within the platform, whether you're on the phone, whether you're in front of your computer, very simple. And we can see here there's a few gardeners growing the hurtberry. There's 2 gardeners there. So if we go into the hurtberry, We can see there that Grolsch and Woody are both growing them. So if we take a look, we can see Grolsch has got a note there from pretty recently, 24th of November. So let's have a look at what he's doing. We can click into his plant and we can see any notes that he has. Now what's nice is because this is public, this specific plant, we can go in and we can make a comment on here. So great looking plant. And now Grolsch is going to get an alert to say that someone has left a comment on his post. And we can go have a look and see some of the information here and see how he's doing. What's nice with this is you can compare progress. So if you're growing the hurtberry and you want to see, well, I've started mine at a similar time to him, you can go and check on his plant and see, well, actually mine is progressing really well, or maybe mine's a little bit behind. This kind of helps with doing all that. So there's old Grolsch now. I can go into Grolsch's public profile. Sorry, Grolsch, we're picking on you a little bit today. You've only got the one plant in there public, so not a good one to choose. Grolsch has also got his Twitter account in there. You can put your social media account. In fact, let's have a look at my profile. You can see some information that we have there. So this is my public profile, and we can see I've got my Instagram in there, Twitter, my YouTube, and a bit of an about as well. So when you do go into the public space for the grower and you get your own unique link for that, then you can see the different social medias that person has and a bit of information about them as well. So that's pretty cool. Now you can change your profile picture. This is something that I've tried to make it without having to explain it too much. I've made it fairly easy, but essentially you just tap on your profile picture and then you can browse and upload a new one. It's as simple as that. You can do this on a computer as well, very simply. So let's have a look at some other things. We have all plants. So this is all of my plants. We can see them all listed here. Now I have them listed in card view at the moment, just because I am looking at this on a mobile. If you're on a computer, it's going to look a little bit different. There's going to be tables that you can use. You can pop open with some other fields that you want to search by. It makes it nice and easy to go through your plants and see what's going on. And then from here, of course, I can go into any one of my plants. So if I look here, there's a jalapeno farmer's market, and I can see that there's 2 public growers. So if I tap on that, public growers, it's going to show other people that are growing the jalapeno farmer's market. And again, I can compare progress with that. So I can see I've posted a photo. Woody, she's got 2 notes in there, but I don't know if she's got any images. No, she hasn't. So I'll make a note, say, where are the photos? Again, sorry guys, I know you're going to get alerts because I'm doing this. And yeah, so we'll do that, we'll leave a comment, and again, Woody will see that comment in her post a little bit later. So we're going to Woody's public garden. She's got a few more plants than Grolsch has in his. So we can go through here and see what she's growing or what she's publicly allowing us to see. Like my public garden, I don't share everything. I will share a lot more in the future, but for testing purposes, I wasn't really doing that. But we can see all the plants that she has public, and she's got quite a few. That's pretty cool. We can bring up all 50 and we can see them. So they're Hainan Yellow Lantern, and we can see there's one other public grower that's growing it. But we see they're good insects, so, well, that doesn't look very good. But we can see some information about it, and we can see some pictures and, again, comment on them if we want to. So that is all pretty cool. Now, there's one other area of this that I need to show you, but admittedly, it's a lot easier to do this on a bigger screen. You can do this on your mobile, but much easier to do it on a tablet or on a PC. And that is our seed trays. So we're now looking at SeedsIO on a bigger screen. This is on my tablet, and same screen as we were looking at before. This is the list of my plants, so all plants, and we can see the table. Obviously it looks a little bit different. I can change the view on this as well if I want to make it card view, but yeah, it just looks easier here with table view. And we can also add a bunch more columns in there if we want, and search by them as well, so they're all easily searchable. But what I wanted to show you here is seed trays. So if we go into seed trays, we'll take a look. I've got a bunch that have been set up here, so it looks quite busy, but let's add a new seed tray and you can see what's going on here. So we could go add seed tray. That's your typical view of a seed tray. I've just made it clear so that you know which ones are columns, which ones are rows. We can change the name. These are just automatically generated random names. So if you just refresh, it'll come up with a different name. But we can go leave the name as it is. You can put a description there. Let's say the description. And color. So with my seed trays, I use masking tape to mark out the edges with a different color. So I have a whole bunch of different colors for masking tape. Because I have so many seed trays, it makes it nice and easy to identify. So you can use this feature if you want, but essentially that's what this is all about. So we can go in there and just choose whatever color we want. So there we go. We'll make that bright green. Number of columns, we'll say this is 6 columns and it is 4 rows. So not a very big one. And we've created that. So that one over there is the one we just created. And there we have our seed tray. Now, I've tried to make this as easy as I can to go and input new seeds and new varieties. So what we do is we click on the plus and we can choose. So I've got a bunch that I've recently added, and we can very easily just tap on one of those. This is, by the way, the same process you would use to add an existing plant. So if you're not doing it by seed, if you're not going through that process, if you just want to add an existing plant, you can go and do it this way. But if we don't choose one of those, what we can do here, because this isn't just about chilies. I initially built this for chilies only, but I realized that it's useful for any growers. Chilies are far more fleshed out, but I will be adding other areas as well. We have potatoes in there, tomatoes, eggplants, cabbages, and spider plants, because my brother likes his spider plants, so I had to add that in there as well. But we'll keep it as chili, select that, and now we can start doing some things here. So this isn't your location of your home, this is your location of where the plant is going to be at your home. But have a look through this, you can see all these things that get populated. If I tap on one of these, you can see one that I've done before, and it's going to populate all of those. This helps because when you're adding something like a jalapeno, you might add 10 of them. You don't want to have to fill this in individually each time. You can just tap on the pre-existing one that you had previously, and we'll submit that. So that's now added that seedling or seed to the seed tray. And again, you can carry on. I can do that very quickly if I just use one of these functions. And there we go. We carry on adding seeds. Now what's nice, I've tried to keep this visual and a bit of fun. If we want to say that this seed now has actually just germinated, so it's a couple of days later, your seed's germinated, you can tap on that. Are you sure that you want to mark this as germinated? Yes, we do. And we'll see that that there is now germinated, and you have a few other options that you can do with this specific seed. We can either pot it up, or we can say that the seedling died sadly, and that's really up to you how you want to do that. When you do pot up, that then takes it out of the seed tray and actually puts it into your NFC tag. And this is where we choose the NFC tag like you'd see on the plant over there, right? So that seed tag there, that's where you'd choose it from over here. So over here we can see a list of all the available NFC tags, because it's going to obviously exclude the ones that are already in there. And we can select that, and then yeah, we've potted that up. We can see that's marked as potted up. That's all good. If I tap on that again, I can go and view it. I can either unpot it up, maybe I tapped on it by mistake, or we can go and view the plant, and there we go. We can see that plant. We can start adding some notes and seeing how it grows throughout the season. SeedsIO is still developing. There are plenty of features that I'm going to be adding, but right now I'm pretty happy with where we are at, and I wanted to release this in time for you guys to start planning out 2022. So you can start putting your seeds in there and start getting excited about what's coming in the next season. Some of the features that I will be adding, many of them are from enhancement requests from my beta testers. I've had my patrons, or some of my patrons, helping me out with beta testing, and they've been doing a fantastic job helping me out there. Thank you guys so much. But some of the enhancements they've requested, they will be going into the platform. And you can also request enhancements. If you look right down the bottom of SeedsIO, you can see down the bottom right, there's a link, and you can submit a request. Or if you see any bugs, then let me know as well. Remember, this isn't a polished final product. I just need to get it out there so you guys can start using it. One of the really cool features I want to add later, well, there's two really cool features. One is IoT. I want to be able to interact with my automation that I have here. I want that to interact with SeedsIO. That is coming down the line. That takes a bit of work, and I'm trying to figure out how best to do that. So that'll be pretty cool. I know a lot of my beta testers have been asking about that too. The other thing that will be coming is a lot of analytics around what you're doing in SeedsIO. So you can analyze the performance of your plants. You know, I changed the way that I fed these plants or watered these plants compared to that group of plants, and I want to see the difference. And you can actually look at the data, and with all the information that you're putting into SeedsIO, you're able to come out and actually get the information that you're looking for and get the result you're looking for. So I'm looking into a lot of that. I love analytics, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. So lots of cool features coming. You might notice that I'm calling it SeedsIO or SeedsIO. It is SeedsIO, but SeedsIO I think is the official name, and I think that works quite well for the platform. Anyway, I hope you guys get registered on SeedsIO and start using it. I'm really keen to get your feedback. Remember, there might be little bugs here and there, and I'll fix them as quickly as I can. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you enjoy SeedsIO.com. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching, and stay spicy.